Well, welcome back to probably part 3 of my 1971 F100 build. The truck is sitting up there. I got a 1974 F-150 four-wheel drive frame for it. Make it so I can make it four-wheel drive. It's a C6 transmission with a MP3 203 divorce transfer case. 4.9-inch rear end with a high pinion Dana 44 front on it. Discs all the way, or drums all the way around. I'm going to convert the front to disc. Leave the back drum. I'm not too concerned about that. I have to change out the cab mounts on it to get a motor mounts. Change these out so I can put a 460 in it. I'm going to convert this from power ram to a normal steering setup, not this mess. I'm gonna take the cab mounts off the F100 since I believe they're still good. These ones are pretty shot. And the front one, they just left the cab part of the mounts in there where it bolts the cab down. There's one front fender one I'm gonna have to deal with. But this video I'm gonna get the transmission removed. I've already removed the drive shaft on it. I'm gonna take what's left of the exhaust pipe out. It actually had dual exhaust. If you look under there, you can see the hanger where this exhaust pipe is, and there's another hanger right there, or what's left of it. So with this truck with a dual exhaust, I believe it had a 351 Cleveland in it. I bought it with just the way it is right now. But then eventually I'm going to get this sandblaster frame myself. I'm going to replace all these rivets right here with grade 8 bolts, because if you look at the back rivets, they're gone on this side and on the other side too, which you can see right there. So yeah, I got the shift linkage off the MP203, and I got it off the transmission. They're both sitting right down over there. What I gotta do now is remove what's left of the line for it. They cut the ends off, so not too worried about them. And 9/16. Yep. Loosen these lines up. Oh, it's just cutting it. Oh well. I don't worry about the lines if I trick it. See both the ends of the line, they cut them off right there and right there. So trans line I'm not worried about. I'm going to have to it's cold as hell out right now. I'm gonna have to swap in a C6 that bolts up I'm gonna have to get a 460 C6 with a 205 tail housing on it. This is a tail housing right here. And I'm going to replace the 203 with a 205 so that it's part-time two-wheel drive instead of all-time. And yeah, so I'm going to cut the video and then come back once I've gotten these lines off, because it's hard to do it with one hand and I don't have a tripod to set up. So yeah. Alright, got the lines removed, and I was actually wrong. This goes in and the line goes into this, so I did not need to break that line, although it was already busted. I didn't do that on this side. I took the top part out. I loosened this up though. Now I'm going to loosen these bolts is that they're easy to get out when I go to take the actual whole thing out. So I'm gonna have to loosen these right here, loosen these, and I'm going to take a chain, wrap it through about right here, and then around the bell housing, probably around right there, to pick this up. And I'm going to take it either up to the garage to take the transfer case off of the bell housing, or not the bell housing, off the transmission. I'm going to put the transmission in there and do that. It depends on where I decide to go in a moment. So, yeah. Right now, I'm working on trying to break these bolts free. There we go. I kind of pull back on them a little bit just to break the rust. And then look, they break free just like that. For how rusty this frame is, I am honestly really surprised at how well and easy it is coming apart. Shoot, there's a wrench. Or wrench. Yeah, wrench. Oh shoot, where did I put the ratchet? But I'm going to find a 9/16 ratchet. I have it somewhere. I fell down. And if I can find that stupid ratchet. But I'm going to take those out. We'll come back once I found that dang ratchet. Alright, got the ratchet out. Now, stick it on there. Get these out. What I'm going to do is take them out all the way and then thread them in just a little bit. Oh, wait. Zoom back out. Oh, that's stuck. Boom. Yeah. Just if you get a bolt stuck in your socket, you can just kind of tap it on the frame or whatever you're working on. Tap like this on the edge and it'll pop it out really easy. So now, get the other bolts out. Or, yeah, bolts. They're not nuts, they're bolts. Get the bolts out, set them out about even, so that it doesn't mess one up. There. You can see the whole thing shifted. I'm not going to go any more out on that one so that it holds it. Yeah, you can see I can move this whole thing now. Now what I got to do is, I believe this is the correct size socket. No. Okay, so find the right socket. Yes, I'm using chrome. That's just because, oh shit. That's just because I am too lazy to go back up to the house and grab the correct socket for the garage. So, this, I believe, is the correct size. Yep, boom. What is that? That is a 3/4 socket. So if you ever work on this, those are a 3/4 bolt on the top. I believe the bottom would be the same thing. But I'm just going to use a, I believe that's metric and that's standard. I'm not fucking sure. I don't really give a shit what socket I use. I just find a socket that fits and go with it. Not how you're supposed to do it, but. Alright, now let's see if these are loose. Oh, shit, that came out. Okay, whatever. Okay. I'm gonna go grab that. And get her switched. Okay. Yeah, the shift linkage for the, high and low chain shifting linkage for the not the gearbox, the transfer case is right there. It's one way I can tell it's 203. It says lock, high, neutral, lock, low. Whereas a 203, that's how you can tell it's 203. 205 would have 4 high, 4 low, neutral, 2 high, 2 low, I believe. And this is the part of the linkage for the transmission. I'll take both of these up when I'm done. So now they're set right there. Ugh. It's cold out. Alright. Uh-oh. Oh. Huh? Okay, so there's a bolt on top, and I guess there's also a bolt on the bottom. Not sure what... Oh. Okay, the bolt on the bottom holds the, this part, the, tail housing in place. The one on the bottom holds this bushing and this in place. Alright, get this somewhat threaded on there. And we'll come back down when I have the tractor. Well, I'll be taking the tractor down here. I'll probably that. But we'll come back when I have the tractor down here and I get these unbolted, and I'll probably have my dad lifting, or either I'll lift it and he takes these off, and we'll get this up and off, right? So yeah, get this done. Get the drive shaft out of here because it's just held on by the rope right there. I took it out from there already. I have to get one of those bolts that hold it on because, well, they're kind of crusty, so might as well replace them. And this has coil front suspension with leaf in the rear because it's an F-150. With a 250 highboy, it would have Dana 60 in the front with a which is an 8-lug, and then it'd have a divorce transfer case. So instead of having the transfer case right here, there'd be a drive shaft coming out to about here with transfer case right there, and then a drive line going this way and a drive line going that way. So it's not a highboy frame, it's just a normal 4-wheel drive F-150 from 1974. So yeah, and it's going to get a 6-inch lift so I can fit 37s under it is my plan, 37s or 36s. Because I have a 44 tire up there. I bought it at the junkyard. But I think 44 is going to be a little bit overkill for what I'm going to do. So, yeah. I'm also going to keep... this bumper got a little bent up right down there when we were moving it out from where I bought it. It was sitting in the weeds. But I'm going to keep this bumper, and I'm going to keep the other bumper off the truck, the other one, because they're identical bumpers. They're both the factory tow bumper. You can tell that because right in there, this plate that you attach your hitch to is not welded to the actual, is separate from the bumper. If it was the normal bumper, that plate would be part of this. That's what I'm saying. So instead of it curving down in here, it just curve and then come out flat. For this, if you look up under here, it is welded on. The plate is attached to the frame, and then this is welded to the plate instead of this being attached to the frame that way. So yeah, you can see over here these ones sheared off on the rear, so I'm gonna just put grade 8 bolts through there. And yeah, but this frame is it's gonna get painted black. A lot of this undercarriage is gonna be painted black, obviously. And this is a short bed. I'm going to put a step side on it. I don't know. It doesn't really matter the step side, I don't think, because I believe the 67 to 72 step side is the same as the 63 to 69 step side. Or no, I'm wrong. The 63 to 62, no shit. Can't talk. The 67 to 72 step side is the same as the 73 to 79 step side, I believe. I'm not sure. They look similar to me in the photos, so yeah, I'm going to put a step side on it, so I'm going to have to trim that bumper down, cut it, and then bring that end in for the step side bed. If I can't do that, I won't worry, and I'll just sell those bumpers, because that one can be straightened really easily, and the other one is perfectly straight. Yeah, so let's get this transmission up and out of here. I don't know how well y'all can hear me. We got the skid steer now. We got the toe straps right there. This is a dog control. So forward brings it down, backwards up. This way it tilts it up. This way it tilts down. Yeah, took the rack off the edge. This turns it right, turns it left. Backwards, turning. Stuff was good in there, and transmission pressure came out. Put it up in the garage and separate it. Alright. That is slow. Drop that. Alright guys, so we got the transmission about. I couldn't record because I had to take a real slow up the hill, so yeah. Alright, just curious how well this would clean up. It cleaned up pretty well. I'm not keeping this because I can't use this transmission, I don't believe. Unless that is a 460 bell housing pattern, which I'm not sure. It could be. I think it's a 351 though, which I could go find a 351 Cleveland and put it in this. But I have a free 460, so might as well use that. So I have to take these bolts off right here, and then I will be able to separate the transfer case. And after we do that, I'm going to take these bolts off and pull this apart to check and see what the condition of the transfer case is inside. So, go get out the tools. Right here. Got the tool set up on the bed of my truck. Drop that down. It is a 1/2 socket size, so right here. Put that on the ratchet. And we will get to work removing that. This is a sensor for something, I'm not quite sure. So, I'm not going to say what it's for because I honestly do not know. Alright, so get these. This. Okay, I was wrong. It is a 9/16. So, just drop the ratchet down there. grab the next size up. 9/16. Try it. I was correct. I knew it was either 9/16 or 1/2. Wasn't quite sure which, but it was one of the two. So, got the socket on. And surprisingly, for how rusty all this stuff is, bolts coming out like a dream. Not sure why, but I am not going to complain. Because nothing you hate more than fighting rusty bolts, trying to get them out. Although it might be, honestly, I think it might be because, well, it's a transmission transfer case. What's in them? Oil. It might just be because there is a ton of oil in these. And these bolts, I believe, they go all the way through into there. Oh, there's sons. I'm not going to say it, but they put silicone in between these. I hate it when people do that, because it makes an absolute mess. Yeah. That came undone easy. This one's actually covered in oil, which I don't know whether I should be concerned about that or not, but yeah, it is covered in oil. You can see all that stupid thread, gasket, make sealer stuff is coming out. I'm going to yank this off because it is just getting in my way. There. Now I can roll over here. Get this bolt off. Ah, shoot. Drop that. Alright. Even the garage is cold. It's like, shit, it's beginning of winter in Oregon. I believe all these bolts are the same. Yep. Alright, got 3 of the bolts out. Got these over here on affiliate so that we know what they are. Now, I believe there is some underneath here. Yep. So I will have to flip this over, get underneath it, and I will go and continue from there. Well, as you can see, I dumped out all the ATF on accident. I pulled the dipstick thing out of the transmission so I could tip it on the side. I got all the bolts out now. Yeah, I dumped out all the ATF. All that sawdust is soaked in it. I use sawdust because then we can put wax on it and turn it into a fire starter. That's a little camping trick you want to know. You need easy fire starter. Take little egg cartons, fill them up with sawdust, pour paraffin wax or beeswax. I believe it's beeswax over the top, and then cut them into the little cups, and you'll have a fire starter. Now I'm going to go get a dead blow and remove the transfer case from the transmission. Well, remove the transfer case from the remove it from the tail housing. That's the word I'm looking for. Tail housing. But it might be difficult because somebody used silicone. So, I'm going to switch hands. I'm going to have to flip the camera over, and it won't do that automatically on an iPhone. So, yeah. Alright, I got the camera flipped. Tap around it, try and get to break the seal. There we go. Yeah, that thing is sealed on there. What I'm going to do, I'm going to go grab a putty knife. Not a putty knife, but one of these. Right here. Grab a couple. I just had a cutter on it right here. This way I can just stick it in there. A little bit burnt from previous shenanigans. Let's just put it that way. Yeah, previous shenanigans. I've burnt that. Yeah, this being covered in silicone going to make it a challenge to get apart. So I'll come back when I've gotten them to start to split, because it's gonna be like a while till I get that. Alright, well, I've gotten the transmission and transfer case split. My dad came down and last night and worked on some stuff, so I didn't record because he doesn't like being on camera and stuff. But now that I need the front, I need the rear tail shaft, or front, whatever fuck you consider that, but tail shaft to go to the rear drive shaft, so I'm not gonna mess with that one. But transmission is a 360 transmission, FE bell housing on it. I confirmed that last night, so, which I'm gonna sell it, but I'm going to open this up and check the inside and see what it looks like. So, yeah. Get all the bolts out. Alright, come on. Yeah, zip the bolts out. And check the transmission inside, because there was some water that came out with the ATF. So, come back once I have gotten this off. Well, I just got the transmission pan pulled off. And all needless to say, this was less than a transmission, and it does not look good. There's all this white sludge. Look at that in this. So it's like thick. It's like a thick. Yeah, you can see there's like a thick, oily sludge in here. So get down and check the underside of this. Got a jacket I found on the side of the road. Shop rag. Alrighty. Check the underside of this. Well, I mean, it looked pretty clean and not too bad. Well, I'd say this transmission is shit. I could probably resell it, get $300-400 off of it, and get another transmission for a 460 that bolts up to a 460. Get another C6 bolts to a 460 instead of a 360 or a 390. So yeah. But this transfer case, where the housing becomes out right here, and that is not there. And there's, I think, another shaft comes out. I will say though, thing spins amazing. Everything works. Spinning it, and it works. So, and there is still oil in the bottom of this too. I can't get up in there, but you can see right there, tipped it over, oil came out of it. So that should be a good sign. But I'm gonna get either another 203 and get the what's it called, a kit that you can buy that takes these from a full-time four-wheel drive to a part-time four-wheel drive by adding a plate up in here. I'm not exactly sure how it works, but it adds a plate up. You basically take this off and you put a plate in here, and somehow it allows you to disengage the front wheels to make it two-wheel drive. So I'll either do that, or I will buy a NP205 instead of the 203. But get this trans pan cleaned out, come back, install it, and then that will probably be the end of this video. Post another one removing the interior of the truck so we can get it ready to put on the frame. Well, I got the trans pan cleaned out. Overall, I mean, it's not in too bad a shape. There's a dent there, and looks like a dent right there. And, you know, a few little minor dings, but, you know, that's to be expected from something that's from 1974. I don't know exactly how old it would be. But, I mean, she ain't too bad a shape. And I don't have another gasket, so I'm just going to reuse this one. But I'm not going to be using this transmission, so I'm not too concerned about the gasket. So let me get this back installed, and yeah. Well, finally got the trans pan back in, so that is in. And these are done with. They're gonna go up for sale on Marketplace, and afterwards I will begin to work on the actual truck, getting the interior pulled out and front clip pulled off so I can begin work on the floor of the cab and pull the cab off the frame and transplant it to the one that's sitting down over there. But yeah, hope y'all enjoyed this video, and see you in the next one.